What if Porygon Z was in Gen 1 OU? Now, for those of you who don't know, the regular Porygon, the Porygon Classic, while it's not good in OU, it actually does have a very specific niche. And that niche is being able to completely stall out and counter one Snorlax in particular. At least one of the more popular ones, that being Body Slam. Because Porygon here is a normal type with Recover and Thunder Wave. Fun fact, Thunder Wave is not spelled with a W. And because of its stats being faster than Snorlax, since Snorlax is at base 30 speed, and having just good enough defenses to where it can survive a Body Slam, and then you can recover off it, it's actually able to outstall Body Slam, since Body Slam is 24 power points, while Recover is 32. Why they made 32 power points a thing for a move that heals half your HP, I don't know. If you ask me, that's a little silly, maybe a little overpowered. But who am I to judge? Really here? Game Freak are the masters here, not me. But yeah, so obviously because of its stats though, it's not the best thing in the world and it kind of gets bodied a lot. However, what exactly would happen if you had Porygon, but you gave it actually good stats and the exact same defense exactly? Spoiler alert, it's really good. We already know normal types are amazing in Gen 1. And because of Porygon Z's better HP, it basically does Porygon Shop against Snorlax, but even better. It does, instead of taking I think a little less than half, I think Snorlax only does a quarter, but we'll see that a little bit later. Your special is a little bit better, so if you want to try to hit with Tri Attack, you're perfectly able to. And then your speed, base 90 speed, that's pretty good by Gen 1 standards, especially since it gives you a better critical hit rate. So not only do you have a better job outstalling Snorlax, but you might be able to kill it even faster. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we? Base 135 special. Holy moly. Let's look at some of the other specials. Oh, actually, let's just start here. That's the exact same special as Alakazam. That is crazy. Because look at Alakazam's detriment for having such high special. It has a really bad physical defense and HP. But not Porygon Z. 70 I would still argue is pretty okay by Gen 1 standards. But to be honest, it's kind of hard to have truly bad stats. At least for Generation 1. And I mean that in the sense that everything's always maxed out. So you always have maxed out special, defense, and HP. So everything's naturally more bulky. And that's why even though it's frail, even Alakazam can survive some critical hits. I'm pretty sure full HP it actually can survive a Tauros Hyper Beam. Though correct me if I'm wrong. It almost kills it, but I don't think it actually does. And speaking of stuff like Tauros, because of Porygon Z being a normal type, it can be immune to the effects of Body Slam paralysis. And that is huge. Having a huge special to be able to counteract, stuff like Snorlax or Tauros. And also, being able to, use the height special to counteract to, special balls, Alakazam. Porygon Z can, I think no exaggeration, could probably take on everything in the format. And while it can't kill everything, it could definitely threaten everything. And Porygon is a very versatile Pokemon. Now, Thunder Wave and Recover are probably must-haves no matter what. Though with how good Porygon Z is, I could imagine you maybe getting rid of Thunder Wave, since you don't care as much. So you can always use something let's say, Agility, that's good, Blizzard. Hyper Beam might actually just be a must-have. Although it might depend on what set you want. Because base 80 base 80 attack isn't everything. However, with your normal stab, not to mention if you got wear something down with your special moves, that could be pretty good. And along with that, you have Ice Beam, you have Psychic, you have Thunderbolt, You probably have like regular thunder too. Like, it's amazing. Like, let's see what else you have here. Rest and substitute, you want that for whatever reason. You also have like, what's it called? Try attack. You just like want like good consistent normal damage. Or if you want a way to like hit something like Chansey on the physical side. Reflect, that's also not bad. Since base 70 isn't, like, I still think it's pretty decent by Gen 1 standards. But if you use like, if you use Reflect, however, then like, you're pretty much unkillable on both sides of the spectrum. And then let's say you get rid of like Thunderbolt, have something like this, like Ice Beam, Psychic, Recover, Reflect. You can pretty much take on anything, and also you can outstall. Granted, with Paralysis would be very annoying. It unlike, oh no, even regular Porygon fears Paralysis. But like, yeah, like this is not bad. I'd argue it's really, really good. Because like, seriously, like, Porygon Z pretty much has everything it could ever want. And unlike other generations, it's not very held back by, that's just not being there compared to, like, other metas. And comparing to, like, with, like, not having to worry about abilities, like, it's also pretty good when everything's, like, has no ability. Porygon Z can just, like, use its, like, you know, its normal stab and its coverage, and then, yeah, it's... Maybe I'm, like, a little too optimistic, but I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be, like, a top 5 Pokemon. Like, I don't know if I'm not sure if it's better than, like, Starmie or Exeggutor, but I think there's a serious argument to be made for it being able to. But let's start looking at some of these replays, shall we? Obviously, you know, we gotta start with, you know, Snorlax, because it already, you know, it's supposed to do regular Porygon shot without stalling it. But also, this replay was really funny, because somehow the paralyzed Snorlax got 2 crits in a row. And I'm not kidding when I say this. Yesterday, I was in a stall war with a, it was a Snorlax that only knew Thunderbolt and Amnesia, and like those sets, and my Rhydon. And literally, we had a stall war trying to waste each other's power points, and I was unable to get a single crit on it, and it kept on wresting up all the damage. And then this Snorlax just manages to like get 2 crits in a row while paralyzed. So yeah, big like F you to me. But on the bright side, this Porygon got my revenge on that Rhydon, because look how easily it took out Rhydon. Because with it being normal and not having to worry about any fighting types because it's Gen 1, it literally has like no weaknesses to worry about. And here we have Tauros. It pretty much like takes the same amount of like damage as like Snorlax, so it takes care of body transfer easily. So that's like, it can easily heal up any damage. Paralyzed Tauros. Psychic does a lot of damage, and that was with a crit, which obviously with it being fast, it gets a lot of those. There's not really much Tauros can really do. However, if you do choose to use like a different set, like let's say you don't want to use like Thunder Wave for whatever reason, I think you kind of need like Reflect exactly. Otherwise, Tauros could be able to you know, like outmatch you and like eventually crit you out. However, like I genuinely don't really see much purpose in not using Thunder Wave on Porygon Z. The only reason why I would see you like not using it is if you just want a whole bunch of coverage to hit as many special threats as possible. But even that, I would say that's extremely unnecessary. But you have a lot of options, but that's good. It's always good to have options. Chansey, on the other hand, it's a very different story. Chansey can wall you pretty easily, because that's Chansey's entire shtick. And it can paralyze you, and technically you could paralyze it, but you really don't want to. Like, Chansey's like the one mon in the game that likes to be paralyzed, because it doesn't have to worry about sleep or freeze. And you could try to like, you know, fish for special drops with Psychic, or maybe Ice Beams, or Blizzards, but as you can see here, sometimes you don't get lucky, and sometimes you're just trying to desperately recover, but sometimes you can't because it's Gen 1, and 25% of the time you just get paralyzed, which really sucks. However, I don't think it's like the most unwinnable thing in the world. I think compared to a lot of other mons, like there's worse matchups out there. Like, I think, like, Porygon Z has a much better chance against Chansey than, Aggron, when I did the Aggron video. And not to mention, this Porygon Z only really uses Psychic as, like, its main attacking move. Because this set I had on here, it also had Hyper Beam. But once you had, like, Tri-Attack or Double Edge, you could very well, like, be able to hit this Chansey. And look how much Hyper Beam actually does. So, like, it's really annoying, but it, for the most part, depends on the matchup. So I actually think I'll probably put this in. Oh, I forgot to make a tier list. Oh, I probably do that. And then, here we have Executor, one of your pretty bad matchups, unfortunately. Ice Beam does, like, a third, but unfortunately, so does, like, their Psychics, which you will soon see. And there's not very much you can really do. It's Executor. So you just have to either, like, even if you don't fall asleep, getting paralyzed will, like, really go out, like, really be annoying. And I'm not sure if you want to paralyze Executor or not. Like, I'm really not sure. Maybe? And I have another one here. But this one, I think, I'm just trying to show, how much Hyper Beam did. And yeah, it does, like, a little less than half. And then a crit just, like, kills you. Which is really unfortunate. And here we have Starmie. Both of you can, like, paralyze each other. And, like, because of, like, your high special, your Thunderbolt actually does a lot, but since it's Gen 1, seeing both of them get, like, paralyzed, that's pretty hilarious. But yeah, this one is also one of those ones that where the match can go either way. I would argue, like, it probably has more favors than Starmie, though, because Starmie's faster, so, like, it can, like, you know, heal before you. Not to mention, like, I'm pretty sure Porygon has higher special, but I'm not sure. I just feel like Starmie just has, like, the tools to take on Porygon if it needs to. Although that will 100% lead in it, like, you know, getting paralyzed, which Starmie doesn't like. But also, like, you know, again, if you want to use, like, number coverage, like, Tri-Attack, Double Edge, or Hyper Beam, this match is going to be, like, a lot more winnable. And as you can see there, Hyper Beam can very well kill Starmie if it's not enough, like, is that a good enough range. And I was curious, so I decided to do a test with Cloyster. Thunderbolt does 2/4 of your health, which is pretty good. But again, this Cloyster didn't go for Clamp. So probably, I mean, the Cloyster's, like, chipped, like, maybe, and if you get a crit, you can definitely kill it. But for the most part, I'm not sure who's really in a better favor that is. And the last people I have is Gengar. One to show how much a typical special move would do. Thunderbolt does, like, a 4th. And yeah, you could be put to sleep, but also Gengar has the right Hypnosis. And if it misses, then you can take it out with Psychic pretty easily. So let's just quickly, Kanto Pokemon tier list. Let's quickly go on this. So this was for the Great Tusk, but now let's try to figure this out. I'm actually not sure. I'm probably I didn't really stop to really think about how it would do against, like Zapdos and Jolteon. I'm just going to start by putting. Also, technically it could matter, but, like, I'm pretty sure these are just great matchups no matter what. Even as, like, Amnesia Snorlax, you can hit hard with physical moves, or, like, your special, you might just be able to outstall it. But I'm not sure. Even though you have physical moves, I imagine, like, Double Edge and Tri-Check aren't the best meta, so I'll put Chansey in bad matchup, along with, Executor. I'm not sure we would go with Jinx. You can... Probably good matchup. I don't think Jinx wants to risk any, like, super high, like, physical moves. And I'll put Rhydon in a great matchup as well. Because, Earthquake probably does a lot, but you can, like really threaten it with ice moves, and you can just recover off the damage. And then Cloyster, I'll put in Kugo either way. And Slowbro is probably a... this is difficult. I'll probably put in Kugo either way. So yeah, here's my ability ranking, or not my ability ranking, the matchup spread. I think this is the first one so far out of all the mons I've done where there's not any mon and unwinnable, and that's actually kind of huge. Really cool, actually. So yeah, what do you think? Am I overhyping Porygon Z a little bit too much? Would it not be able to take out anything? And also, like the main mons I bothered looking over were the ones that I, took replays for. Didn't really look anything for like Alakazam, Jolteon, Slowbro, Zapdos. Do you think that like Porygon Z would have an easy time facing those, or do you think he would struggle? Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear more of your guys' feedback. And feel free to suggest any Pokemon you want me to go over, because I have a lot of fun making these, and I have a lot of fun just experimenting. So yeah, I don't know how much I have to say. This is Groundback, and I look forward to hearing from you.